The massive alien vessel hung in Earth's orbit like a metallic predator, its sleek dark surface reflecting the sunlight in sharp, menacing angles. Captain June Park stood motionless in the United Global Defense Command Center, his eyes locked. On the holographic display showing the extraterrestrial ship's precise location, Dr. Yuna Kim approached, her tablet displaying complex data streams and alien communication patterns. The room was silent, filled with tension that could be cut with a knife. Monitors flickered with incoming transmissions, each second feeling like an eternity. "They're waiting," Yuna whispered, her fingers moving quickly across the tablet's surface. The Zorn diplomatic vessel had arrived without warning. No previous radio signals, no diplomatic communications, just a sudden appearance that disrupted every satellite and communication network on the planet. Military bases worldwide were on high alert, their weapon systems powered up and tracking the alien craft. Inside the massive ship, alien commanders reviewed their standard conquest protocol. Humans were considered a primitive species, another potential colony to be absorbed or eliminated. They had conquered hundreds of civilizations across multiple star systems, and Earth looked like just another easy target. A transmission began. The alien language was complex, filled with clicking, sounds and mathematical precision. Universal translators in the Defense Command Center worked overtime to decode the message. June watched as lines of text started appearing on the massive screen. Inhabitants of Earth, your civilization is deemed inefficient. Surrender your planetary resources. Resistance is mathematically improbable. Yuna's team of linguists and communication experts analyzed every syllable. The message was clear: complete submission or total destruction. June's fingers touched a communication panel. Within seconds, global military leaders were connected through an encrypted network. No panic, no unnecessary drama. Just cold, calculated preparation. "They want our planet," June stated simply. "We have three options: surrender, fight, or negotiate." Around the world, humanity's best minds were already working. Research facilities in Busan, military complexes in Nevada, technological centers in Tokyo, all synchronized their efforts. Something the Zorn never expected was about to happen. The alien vessel remained stationary, waiting for a response. Its advanced sensors scanned the planet, measuring military capabilities, resource distributions, and potential resistance levels. Standard procedure for the Zorn Imperium suggested a 99.8% chance of immediate planetary submission. What they didn't know was that humans had been preparing for something like this for decades. Secret international collaborations, hidden technological developments, and a united global defense strategy were about to be unveiled. Yuna looked at June, a slight smile crossing her professional demeanor. "They have no idea what's coming." The alien transmission continued, repeating its demands in multiple mathematical and linguistic variations. Each repetition seemed more aggressive, more certain of humanity's inevitable defeat. But humans were different. Unlike previous civilizations the Zorn had encountered, Earth's inhabitants possessed an unpredictable combination of technological innovation, collective willpower, and an inherent survival instinct that couldn't be calculated by standard alien metrics. June pressed a single button. Across the planet, defense systems began to activate. Satellites repositioned, quantum communication networks came online, and military assets mobilized with surgical precision. The Zorn vessel detected movement. Thousands of signals began emerging from the planet's surface. Not signals of surrender, but signals of preparation. Something was fundamentally different about this civilization. For the first time in their centuries-long conquest history, the Zorn commanders felt a strange sensation that closely resembled what humans might call uncertainty. The Busan research facility looked like any other modern building from the outside, but inside, a storm of human innovation was brewing. Hannah Park stood in the central laboratory, her hands moving swiftly across multiple holographic displays. Prototype defense systems lined the walls, each one a testament to human creativity and determination. Around her, A team of scientists from different countries worked with intense focus. They knew what was coming. The alien threat was real and preparation was their only weapon. "We need something they can't predict," Hana muttered to her colleague Wu, who was calibrating a quantum shield prototype. Global communication networks had been working overtime. Military leaders, scientists, and technology experts from every continent were sharing information at unprecedented speeds. The old divisions, national borders, political differences had suddenly become meaningless. In SEC, a hidden facility beneath the Nevada desert, advanced AI systems were being trained to analyze alien communication patterns. Massive quantum computers processed millions of potential invasion scenarios every second. The machines learned, adapted, and prepared strategies that no human mind could conceive. Tokyo's technological centers were developing adaptive weapon systems. These weren't traditional weapons, but intelligent networks that could change and respond faster than any known military technology. Each system was designed to be unpredictable, to think beyond standard combat protocols. Hana's quantum chip was the breakthrough, a small device no larger than a fingernail. It could potentially disrupt entire communication and navigation systems of an advanced alien fleet. Her team had been working on this for years, hidden from public view, preparing for a threat most people would have considered impossible. "We're creating a defense network," Wu explained, connecting multiple quantum chips, "something that can think and adapt faster than any invasion force." Military training centers around the world had changed their approach. Soldiers were now being trained in adaptive combat strategies, learning to use technology as an extension of human intelligence. Virtual reality simulations prepared them for scenarios that went beyond traditional warfare. In space research facilities, scientists were mapping potential invasion routes. They studied the Zorn vessel's initial transmission, analyzing every tiny detail. Communication experts worked to understand alien language patterns, hoping to find weaknesses in their communication systems. Hana looked at the quantum shield prototype. It wasn't just a weapon or a defense system. It was a message. A message that said humanity would not go down without a fight. The global effort was unprecedented. Countries that had been historical enemies now worked together with a single purpose. Resources were pooled, information was shared, and a collective human strategy began to take shape. Satellite networks were being upgraded. Communication systems were being made quantum encrypted. Every potential technological advantage was being explored and developed. "They think we're primitive," Hana told her team. "But we're going to show them what human innovation really means." In underground facilities, advanced robotics were being developed. These weren't traditional robots, but adaptive machines that could think and respond in milliseconds. Each one was designed to be a potential defender of the planet. Financial systems worldwide had been redirected. Massive funding was now focused on defense technology. Economic competition had been replaced by a united human effort. Wu connected the final quantum chip, and the holographic display came alive with complex, mathematical patterns. "We're ready," he said simply. Hana looked at the display, understanding that they were creating something more than just a defense system. They were creating hope, a hope that humanity could stand against an unknown threat. The preparation was more than technological. It was a global psychological transformation. Humans were becoming something different, a united, adaptive species ready to defend their home. Outside the Busan facility, the world continued its normal routine. Most people had no idea about the incredible preparation happening behind closed doors. But those who knew understood something important. Humanity was not going to be an easy target. The first Zorn attack wave approached Earth's orbital line, like a swarm of metal wasps, their spacecraft gleaming with advanced weaponry. Inside the United Global Defense Command, screens erupted with incoming missile trajectories and alien ship signatures. Captain June Park stood motionless, watching the defense systems activate. Hana's quantum chips were about to be tested in real combat for the first time. "Incoming," a young technician shouted. Hundreds of alien missiles streaked toward Earth's orbital defenses. But these weren't ordinary defense systems. Quantum shields flickered to life. adaptive networks that could predict and counteract each incoming threat in milliseconds. The first wave of missiles suddenly changed course. Some spun wildly, others simply dissolved in space. The Zorn commanders watched in disbelief as their perfectly calculated attack dissolved before their eyes. Hana's voice crackled through the communication system. Quantum shields at maximum efficiency. Targeting systems are online. Earth's orbital platforms began their counterattack. Unlike traditional weapons, these were intelligent systems that could think, adapt, and respond faster than any known technology. Each platform worked like a living organism, sharing information and adjusting strategies in real time. The Zorn fleet had conquered hundreds of civilizations. They expected quick surrender or total destruction. What they encountered was something entirely different. Massive energy beams shot from Earth's defense platforms. These weren't simple laser weapons, but quantum-encrypted energy streams that could penetrate the most advanced alien shielding. Each beam carried multiple attack algorithms, changing its frequency and intensity with each millisecond. Inside the alien command ship, confusion spread. Their invasion protocols were failing. Humans were responding in ways their advanced computational systems couldn't predict. Impossible, a Zorn commander muttered, watching their attack formations disintegrate. Smaller human defense drones began swarming around the alien fleet. These weren't traditional military drones, but adaptive machines that could connect and create complex defense networks. They moved like a living cloud, blocking, attacking, and redirecting alien weaponry. June watched the battle unfold. Humanity wasn't just defending. They were demonstrating a level of technological innovation that defied standard invasion calculations. Alien ships started falling, not destroyed, but completely disabled. Their advanced computer systems were being invaded by human quantum networks, turning the most sophisticated technology into useless metal. The battle wasn't about firepower. It was about intelligence, adaptation, and the unexpected potential of human technological innovation. Hana's team in the Busan facility controlled everything through complex quantum networks. They weren't just fighting. They were learning from each alien attack, improving their defense systems in real time. Communication systems across the alien fleet began to fail. Human technology was infiltrating their most secure networks, creating chaos in their command structure. "We're not just defending," Hana told her team. "We're teaching them a lesson." Hours passed. The Zorn attack wave, once considered invincible, was reduced to floating debris. Their most advanced spacecraft became nothing more than silent monuments to human innovation. The final blow came not from a weapon, but from a complex quantum signal. It penetrated the alien fleet's central communication system, essentially turning their own technology against them. Silence filled the United Global Defense Command. The impossible had happened. Humanity had not just survived. They had completely defeated an technologically superior alien invasion force. June looked at the screens. The orbital line was clear. Earth remained untouched. "They'll remember this day," he said quietly. Outside, the first rays of sunlight broke through the atmosphere, illuminating the remains of the alien fleet, a silent reminder that humanity was no longer just a potential target. They were a force to be reckoned with. The technological confrontation was over, and Earth had won. Ji-hoon Lee sat in a small, dark room filled with complex communication equipment. His team of experts surrounded him, their fingers moving across multiple screens and holographic displays. They weren't soldiers in the traditional sense, but they were about to become the most important warriors in humanity's fight. The remaining Zorn communication channels were still active. Damaged but functional, these channels became the perfect pathway for humanity's next strategy. "We're going to make them doubt everything," Ji-hoon told his team. Their mission was simple but complex: psychological warfare on an interstellar scale. They would use the Zorn's own communication systems against them, creating a web of misinformation that would destroy the alien fleet's confidence. First, they began inserting false communication signals. These weren't random messages, but carefully crafted information designed to create maximum confusion. Each signal seemed to come from different parts of the Zorn fleet, suggesting internal conflict and betrayal. Messages about fictional weapon systems appeared. Reports of entire Zorn squadrons being wiped out by non-existent human technologies started flooding their communication networks. Each message was mathematically perfect, matching the Zorn's complex communication protocols. The alien commanders began to panic. Their advanced systems were being compromised and they couldn't understand how. Ji-hoon's team created digital ghosts, communication signatures that appeared and disappeared, suggesting massive human technological capabilities that didn't actually exist. They planted seeds of doubt in every communication channel. Humans are tracking our every move, one fabricated message suggested. Central Command has been compromised. The Zorn communication systems became a nightmare of conflicting information. Their perfect hierarchical structure was slowly breaking down, replaced by uncertainty and fear. Psychological profiles of the Zorn species carefully studied during the initial contact revealed their weakness. They couldn't handle uncertainty. Their entire civilization was built on predictability and mathematical precision. Hana from the Busan facility provided quantum encryption keys that allowed Ji-hoon's team to penetrate deeper into the Zorn communication systems. They weren't just sending messages, they were creating an entire false reality. Reports of internal betrayals began to spread. Some messages suggested that certain Zorn commanders were planning to surrender to humans. Others implied that different fleet sections were preparing to fight each other. The alien fleet's communication became a chaotic mess of accusations, counter-accusations, and growing paranoia. "We're destroying them without firing another shot," Ji-hoon said, watching the screens. Military experts around the world monitored the psychological attack. This wasn't traditional warfare. This was something entirely new. They were defeating an advanced civilization using information as a weapon. Quantum computers continued generating millions of communication scenarios every second. Each message was designed to create maximum psychological disruption. The Zorn commanders started questioning everything. Their perfect invasion plan was falling apart, not because of physical weapons, but because of doubt. Some alien ships began moving away from the main fleet. Others stopped responding to central commands. The once unified invasion force was becoming a collection of isolated, confused vessels. Ji-hoon's team worked around the clock. They understood that every message, every false signal, was a weapon, more powerful than any physical missile. Humans are everywhere. One fabricated high-level communication suggested. "We can't trust our own systems." The psychological warfare reached its peak when they started inserting messages that suggested the entire invasion was a massive strategic mistake. They created entire communication histories that showed the invasion was based on fundamentally incorrect information about Earth. By the time the attack was complete, the Zorn fleet was no longer a unified fighting force. They had been defeated not by weapons, but by their own fear and uncertainty. Ji-hoon looked at his team and smiled. "Mission accomplished," he said quietly. The psychological battle was over, and humanity had won without firing another shot. The remaining Zorn vessels limped through space, their once proud fleet reduced to barely functional ships. Their central communication systems were in complete chaos, the psychological warfare having destroyed their internal structure more effectively than any weapon. Captain Jun Park watched the alien ships on the massive holographic display. Around him, the United Global Defense Command was silent, waiting for the final moments of the confrontation. "Let them go," Jun said quietly. Hana stood beside him, her quantum systems still tracking every movement of the alien fleet. "We need to send a message," she responded. As the Zorn ships prepared to retreat, Earth's defense systems made one final demonstration. Quantum probes launched from orbital platforms, effortlessly penetrating the aliens' most advanced shielding. These weren't attack weapons, they were a clear warning. The probes inserted a single message into the Zorn communication networks. A simple transmission that would be translated across multiple alien languages and communication systems. "Humanity is not a target. We are a civilization to be respected." Yuna Kim, the lead xenopolitical strategist, had carefully crafted every word of the message. It wasn't a threat. It was a statement of absolute fact. The first surviving Zorn ship began its hyperspace jump. But before leaving, its communication systems were flooded with data, detailed records of how completely Earth had dismantled their invasion. Technical specifications of human defense systems, psychological warfare techniques, and quantum communication networks. Other alien civilizations would receive this information. The message was clear. Earth was not a weak planet to be conquered. Into the command center, nobody celebrated. This was more than a victory. This was a turning point for human civilization. Jihoon Lee's communication team continued monitoring the alien retreat. They knew this was just the beginning of humanity's galactic introduction. They'll talk, Jihoon said. Every civilization will hear about this. The surviving Zorn vessels carried more than just survivors. They carried the complete story of their defeat, a defeat so total and unexpected that it would become a legend among spacefaring civilizations. Hana's quantum systems continued tracking the alien ships. Each movement, each communication burst, was being recorded. Humanity was learning, preparing, understanding. We're not alone anymore, June said, looking at the display. The global effort that had started in secret research facilities in hidden military complexes had succeeded beyond anyone's expectations. Countries that had once been enemies now stood united. The invasion had done what decades of diplomacy could not: create a truly global human civilization. Scientific facilities around the world began analyzing every piece of data from the confrontation. The technological insights gained from the Zorn invasion would revolutionize human understanding of quantum physics, communication systems, and space defense. As the last Zorn ship disappeared into hyperspace, a new chapter of human history began. Yuna looked at June and Hana. "They'll be back," she said, "but next time they'll think twice." The message was already spreading, not just through official communications, but through every communication network on the planet. Ordinary people would soon understand what had happened. Humanity had faced its first real test from an extraterrestrial civilization, and they had not just survived, they had shown the galaxy something unexpected. We are not victims. We are not prey. We are humanity. The orbital platforms powered down. The quantum systems went into standby mode. But the message remained, clear and undeniable. Earth was ready. Earth was watching. And Earth would not be conquered.